I'm going to eat this extremely normal candy, and then I'm gonna do some questions and answers because I didn't get to finish them all the way, and I'm really into finishing them. So I'm gonna answer them until I can't. So we'll see when I can't. But I just got finished cleaning out my bag because I was carrying my friend's boba, sealed boba, in my purse, and it was leaking slowly into my purse, and then it sat in my purse for 2 days, and now my purse smells like a raccoon died in it, and the juices are in the bottom, and it's actually disgusting, and I'm just in a solemn mood because I just had to deal with that. I had to clean it out. All my purse stuff got fucked up. It's so fucked up. I didn't really deserve that. Starting off strong, number 1, opinion on feminist movies written by men. This is a really, really, really good question. To me, sometimes it's a total slay, and sometimes men do an incredible job writing feminist movies. For example, I don't think Poor Things was a feminist movie per se, but it handled a lot of like feminist topics in a really great way. So I can't say that I say that no men should do feminist movies, because a movie is like so much a bunch of people making something and like less one director making it. But again, I've more times been uncomfortable by a director's portrayal of women in movies than I have not been. So I just think that it needs to be a better collaboration. I don't like the grape revenge trope really. That's a really loaded question, but I'm gonna say it really depends on the movie. For example, some men will write like feminist movies and it's like girl boss feminism. And what I really liked about, I'm watching The Boys right now, like the TV show, is they introduce this like girl boss feminist character, and then you get like a weird feeling from it because you're like, oh, another girl boss that's like a fake feminist character, and then she ends up being a terrible person. But if you didn't like her to begin with, you felt really good about yourself. So somebody said, I literally feel like the Australian version of you when it comes to personality. You probably are the Australian version of me. I wish that I was Australian. Dude, like, how often do you have dreams and can you remember them, and are they normally interesting or scary? I don't really dream a lot, but when I do have dreams, it's very much like, I've never had a nightmare in a really long time. Like, I don't really get scary dreams, but it's kind of like Adventure Time dreams. None of my dreams ever make sense. Also, I'm really proud of this sticker being covered by the Martini. And it's Brokeback Mountain inspired me to make this sticker. And then I'm having my Brokeback Mountain hyperfixation resurgence again, basically exactly 1 year later. So there must be something in the cosmos that makes me obsessed with Brokeback Mountain, like at this time of the year. I don't know what it is. Can you talk about growing into your 20s and how to find peace of mind as a lady? I don't know if you're younger or older, but if you are younger, it does get better every single year. And as that frontal lobe starts cooking, it's better. So in my experience, it just gets better every time I get older because I learn more about myself. I know how to take care of myself. I know how my boundaries. And like, the reason that life sucks so fucking bad when you're 13 is because you don't know how to set boundaries. You don't know your boundaries. You don't know what you want or what you like yet because you haven't lived. And that's why it's so tragic when people don't live past a certain age, because it's like they didn't really get to find themselves. So that being said, honestly, just like it'll be fine. And when you grow up, you will learn so much about yourself that it's easier to live and to exist, because nothing is scarier than like not being tethered onto anything. Like, that's scary. Do you have a piece of media that completely changed your outlook on life and why, etc.? Yes. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like one of my top 4 favorite movies, but the first time that I actually saw that in the theater, it kind of changed my perception of movies because the art direction was so good, and I definitely seen really good movies before that, but for some reason that one just like flipped a switch in my mind, and then I started really appreciating films and stuff. Someone's like, favorite final girl. Favorite final girl gotta be Taylor Russell and Bones and All, but that's not really a final girl. I love Jessica Biel in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's 2016. She's so cunty in that movie, seriously. And obviously it's Mia Goth as Maxine Minx. Like, we know this. Favorite books. Favorite books. I think Handmaid's Tale gotta be number 1. No. A Little Life, number 1. Handmaid's Tale, number 3. Tender is the Flesh, number 2. Number 4, maybe Tweak. That's the Beautiful Boy movie that's based on a book. Tweak is the son's perspective. And I love that book because it's fucking interesting. And I read it all the time because it's very interesting. And it's so riveting to read. And last one I'm going to say, Misery by Stephen King. That is one of the best horror books ever. And I'm so jealous if you haven't read it. If you haven't read that book, I'm fucking jealous of you. And you should just go read it because it's very scary and so fun to read. And I gave my copy to some motherfucker who didn't give it back. So, what's a horror trope you wish would be brought back? Love your vids. Thank you so much. I gotta say, horror trope I wish would be... Okay, this is actually huge for me. I want the Jurassic Park horror trope back in the way that I want a really scary, fucked up movie about hyper-realistic, biblically accurate dinosaurs with their sounds, with the way that they kind of had feathers, and like they don't really growl, they make these sounds that are so scary. But I want a hyper-realistic movie about dinosaurs. Can we bring back creature feature, please? They kind of brought back the creature feature with Sting, and that one, I had a lot of fun when I watched it, but I want more. I want more creature feature. I also would love to watch a movie with really campy outfits that girls are wearing with like some kind of Lovecraftian monster and some really epic kind of almost Deadpool style fighting scenes with a really great soundtrack. That would actually, like, I think, reverse climate change. Okay, where do I get my jewelry? Etsy and the thrift store. And I also buy my jewelry if I want to buy something really nice. There's this girl called Frances Frank, and she makes these beautiful jewelry and she lives in like the desert in Palm Springs, I think. I would love to show you mine, but it's stuck in this headphone. This is one that I got for my birthday, and I told everyone, please get me this. And it's a real 8-ball, and it's real sterling silver. You can't see shit, like, okay. But it's just like the most beautiful piece ever. I barely wear it because I love it so much I don't want to fucking lose it or break it. It just, that's stupid though, because that's scarcity mindset. But yeah, that's where I get my jewelry from. Etsy, or that lady, or I thrift them. I don't buy them off of like those sites that are like fancy jewelry site, free shipping site. I don't really care about that. What are your opinions on Ethel Cain? I had my Ethel Cain moment where I got extremely obsessed with Ethel Cain's music for a little bit, and then my coworkers that I don't like started blasting Ethel Cain at work, and I got really like, because I'm so contrary and I got so fucking weird about it. I'm like, literally, that's my bitch. That's not for you. That's for me. And then I got weird. She's doing it like no fucking buddy else is. The dedication of the vision is unfucking real, and it's gorgeous. Everything's 10 out of 10. Beautiful. And I do listen to Ethel Cain. Okay, my big 3 is Taurus Sun, Leo Moon, and Aries Rising. I think that means that I like to be lazy and I like to make videos and post them on YouTube. Where are my glasses from? Listen, everybody asks me where are my glasses from. I don't answer anybody because of one reason. If I told people where my glasses were from, I would feel guilty because I don't want to send people to Amazon when they can't get the glasses that I'm wearing or whatever because I got them at like a glasses store in my city, or I don't remember where I got them. So like, I will feel guilty if I tell people just look on Amazon or whatever, and I don't want to do that. How do I stay motivated? I don't, sister. My best advice is I find a podcast that I like or a show that I like that has 20 seasons, and then I watch that while I'm doing my work. So that's kind of what I do to stay motivated, but that's really just like distracting myself while I'm doing shit that I do not want to do. But I don't know if it's my ADHD brain, but when I'm watching something and I'm like doing the dishes, it just feels more fun. And then I also started taking this supplement. I'm going to put it up here because I have no fucking idea what it's called. That has very much helped my motivation and ADHD because I have extreme ADHD. I'm not diagnosed with that, but I'm 100% sure I have it because I have every single symptom, and coincidentally, this medicine that's supposed to help ADHD really helps me. And I also medicate myself with caffeine. And if it weren't for caffeine, I wouldn't get anything done and I wouldn't be able to socialize. Like, if for some reason it makes my brain able to, like, function, I'm just trauma dumping on you. Like, oh my God. Am I more of a sweet or savory person? Savory in the morning, breakfast potatoes, bagel, avocado toast, egg, hot sauce, salsa, beans. I like savory in the morning, but I like sweet any kind of other time. So I think that I like both, but if I were to choose a snack, it would be a sweet snack. So unless it's like right in the morning, I don't really like donuts in the morning. I'd rather like have a treat in the middle of the day or at night. In the morning, I want a burrito. I want tater tots. Are you plant-based? If so, do you have any good but easy meal recs? I'm not plant-based, but my boyfriend's vegan. I basically just eat yogurt and shit like that because it's just cheaper and it's more protein, whatever. But because I basically only cook vegan, I gotta say my meal recs are, I just build a bowl basically every day with just rice in the middle and then every vegetable I have in my fridge with some pan-fried tofu and then spicy mayo or tahini sauce. And if you do a variation of all those things, you will never not have something to eat. Like, any vegetable works with any sauce. Tofu works with any sauce. Rice works with any sauce. Like, it just is the easiest combination of foods. I really hope that these don't get to my brain so I can actually like do good answers. Do you think the bad reviews of Maxine are only coming from people who haven't watched the 3? Yes. But also I think the final installment of Maxine was specifically for horror lovers, and I don't think that it was for people that haven't watched every 80s horror movie ever, because it's an homage to 80s horror and it's like really beautifully done, and I think you needed to be there, if that makes sense. Like, you needed to watch Videodrome before you enjoyed Maxine, and a lot of people don't. A lot of nice stuff on here, messages. I already said that, but it's very, 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 very nice and very kind. Favorite sweet treat. Favorite sweet treat, if I go to the boba store, I either get a mocha milk tea with oat milk and bubbles, like pearls, or I get a black mango like tea with coconut jelly. And if I'm going for like an other treat, I like to get ice cream with sprinkles and whipped cream. Or I love a fucking cookie. Like, I love a chocolate chip cookie. If I'm gonna go get like a coffee, I'm gonna get a cookie for sure. Someone said, how did I find my style in art? I just basically copied artists that I like, and if you're copying the right way, which is like doing it and not tracing it and just getting inspiration, you'll create your own style. Like, for example, that would be a crazy compliment, but if you liked my style, for example, you could just copy it in your own way, and your hand cannot replicate someone else's work, so you will make something different. My influences were Trish Hologram and Vune. Those were my 2 big influences, and my art looks entirely different. And I didn't mean it to look different. I wanted it to look like theirs. But if you copy it the right way, it will be fine. But that's like gatekept for some reason. Like, style doesn't come out of nowhere. It's like kind of comes naturally when you're trying to emulate other people's work. And that has been done since the dawn of man. That's all that man likes to do is copy. When did my love for horror start? I remember vividly forcing, well, not forcing, like she was into it too, but my friend and I in like 3rd grade would watch horror movies like Poltergeist and Random Shit and Paranormal Activity and stuff on her computer, and we would just sit on our bellies and like on a pillow and just watch horror movies on her laptop. And we did that every single time we would hang out. Like, we were best friends. And then one time we decided to turn on Human Centipede, and it was so incredibly, it was my first experience with disturbing horror. I was so disgusted. I didn't watch horror movies for a long time. I kept thinking about how scared I was when we were watching it and how disgusted I was, and I was like, I'm so intrigued by that feeling. Why am I so intrigued by that? And then I get to high school and I'm binging horror movies all the fucking time. And so I think it kind of wasn't always, I always liked it. And I always was really into like being spooked. Another movie that sparked it for real was like, I watched Silent Hill when I was, I think, like maybe 13 or 14. And that one was the first time I've ever been extremely scared by a movie in a way that I wasn't disgusted. I was genuinely afraid. And to this day, Silent Hill really scares the shit out of me. If I played the game, I would totally freak out. Just something about those monsters and like the setting, it was freaky. It was so freaky. What leisure activity do you love to do when you need to get your mind off things? It doesn't seem like it, but I go into nature a lot. I go on a lot of walks, and I just leave my phone at home. And because I have anxiety, I will literally hide my phone in my house in case someone fucking broke in. Like, no one's gonna break in, but I will hide my phone somewhere in my room, go on a walk. I do that at least once a day. Go on a walk somewhere. And like, that sounds like really stupid and like it sounds pretentious. And every time people have told me they go on a walk, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. But then I started going on a walk, and it really does help like your mental state, especially because I work from home and I'm so plugged in. I just sometimes need a minute to have no technology on me so no one can even reach me. That's really nice to do. What are my top 10 movies of all time? Yes. Okay, number 1, Donnie Darko. Number 2, Maxine and X are kind of like tied for number 2. 3, it's gotta be Mandy. That's me, my boyfriend's favorite movie. Like, it's such a fucking good movie. It's like, love that movie. 4, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just because I think it's one of the few movies that is absolutely perfect. I think the ending is just like so satisfying. Chef's kiss. I think 5's gotta be The Thing by John Carpenter. 6 has gotta be Midsommar by Ari Aster. 7, I fear it may be Fight Club. 8, gotta be Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. 9 is Climax. Seriously, it's Climax because nothing will ever top me watching that for the first time and not knowing what was going to happen. Genuinely, it was so shocking and it was so impressive. I'm going to give you 3 more because I forgot what number I was at. Bones and All, Puss in Boots' Last Wish, and this is insane, but I gotta say Furiosa, Mad Max. I'm really sorry. It's a great fucking movie. Literally, I actually have not had a theater experience that fantastic that I went back and watched it again in a really long time. I'm gonna watch this video though and think of like, why didn't I say that movie? But that was just off like the top of my head that I could think of. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to get in touch with their creativity? I think that I might have already answered this in the other one. I can't tell because they're all mixed up now. But every human being is creative, and do not let people tell you that to be creative you have to be like a certain type of person, or you have to look a certain way, or you have to be like esoteric and like better than everyone. Like, it's not like that. Like, you have creativity in you no matter what. You have, it's not something that you have to like earn or acquire. Like, you have it, and you just find an activity that you like to do and then just have fun with it. Have you considered working in film? Yes. Not as like an actor or a writer or anything. I just I am obsessed with being a prop master, and I said this in my other video, but genuinely, I think that's one of my passions, and I have a zombie head in my closet that I made with practical effects makeup and stuff, and I just stopped working on it because where I live, that's not a career option. Like, I would need to go to LA for that. So it's like I can't pursue that right now, but genuinely one of my dreams is to work with my hands with SFX. Different prop masters have different ways that they make blood, for example, and like the prop master with Dexter made the blood with corn syrup and Dawn dish soap, and I think it's a peppermint oil, so that in the Florida summer, bugs wouldn't come to the fake blood because it had oil in it, peppermint oil. Like little things like that, I just feel like my mind would work so well to create things like that. What's my career college background? I did 1 year of art school at Savannah College of Art and Design, and I had to drop out, even though I loved it, because of some extreme family drama issues that one day I can talk about when I'm in a better legal spot, like with it. But yeah, I had to drop out. I fell in love with the school. I made really, really great friends, and then it's like, bye, I had to drop out. So genuinely, Savannah is one of the most beautiful places in the entire US, and there's some creepy shit there that I had no idea I would find. Like, there's a really creepy museum called Grave Face. It's really, really cool. And there's like, the trees have like this really scary kind of haunted vibe to them that's so charming. It's genuinely like such a soulful place. But my career background is I've been a graphic designer for like 2 or 3 years. And before that, I worked in retail, and I just was able to quit my restaurant job like maybe 6 or 7 months ago and do graphic design full time. But one thing that will always be in my heart is how much I hate when people are taking advantage of service workers and retail workers, because I've done both, and I cannot stand a shitty manager. I can't stand the fucking drama of it all. I would go into work just trying to make money, trying to go into work, and you get caught in these like power dynamics that are so annoying, so dehumanizing, and like just exhausting. And that shit like that makes me so mad. And when I notice it happening when I'm places, I'm like, I just wish that it wasn't like that so badly. Are you a body who has a soul, or a soul that has a body? I'm a body that has a soul, 100%. My body runs the fucking show, dude. How did you end up in Canada coming from America? So I'm not actually an American, I'm a Canadian. So I basically came back to Canada because I can work here. So because I had to abruptly drop out of college, I didn't get a chance to have a work visa because I didn't have a college degree, basically. So I just had to come back here so I could work, because I did get kicked out. I had no help, so I had to work. But Canada's great. It's pretty much the same. People where I live are super unfriendly, so there's that I really don't like. I didn't realize how much southern friendliness was where I lived until I went here, and there was nothing like that. Like, I'm from Florida, and I didn't realize how different the culture was and how much I would feel ostracized, I guess. But if this is coming from an American that wants to move, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful country. The only thing is it's very cold. So if you are coming from somewhere where you are warm, that's a really hard adjustment period, especially like for me, it was really, really hard. If you could live as one movie character for a day, who would you choose? Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't think of movies like that. I actually try to actively not think of movies like that, because I think that damages media literacy. Like, when I think a lot of the time people watch movies and they like insert themselves, I don't like to do that, because I feel like I look at movies as like it's a metaphor for something else. I don't really think of it as like, oh, there's actually like that guy there, if that makes sense. I'm just not making sense at all. If I had to choose The old man in the amusement park horror movie from the 1970s. Just aimlessly wandering around the amusement park. What's your favorite non-horror movie? I, Tonya, for sure. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is kind of a horror movie at the end, but it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so I wouldn't really consider that objectively non-horror. I think my favorite, yeah, gotta be I, Tonya. I watch that all the time. It's such a fantastic movie, and I never get bored of it. What made you decide you wanted to move to Vancouver? I wanted to move to Vancouver because I thought it had surfable waves and the ocean for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. I just was under that impression. Where I come from, I did a lot of water sports, and I thought I needed to swim in the ocean. So I had a rude awakening when I realized you can't swim here and there is no ocean here. So that's why I chose Vancouver. But after living here, I cannot imagine a situation where I never got to live here because of all the food that I've tried and the people that I've met. And like, I can't believe how much I've been able to grow as a person by being in such a different environment than I grew up. So that's invaluable to me. But that is why I moved. I thought that it was going to be the most Florida-like Canadian city. If I could do it again, I think Victoria is probably more what I was looking for, but I am still glad I went to Vancouver. Best decade for horror. 1990s, for sure. I think 1990s and right now we're having a total renaissance, and there's some fantastic movies coming out. Favorite artist, fine art, music, anything. My favorite artist has to be Kurt Cobain, I think, which is that's like everyone's favorite artist, it seems. But I genuinely got super obsessed with him. Like in high school, it was so important to me to feel less alone. And I have read all of his journals, and I've visited his house, and that's the only person where when I've been able to meet people that have met him, I start to get like kind of overwhelmed. Like when I met Nardwar and I thought about how he's met Kurt Cobain, I don't know how to explain it. I got like extremely emotional. That's my favorite artist. My icks. Okay, my icks include, literally when a tech bro guy thinks that anything that's on technology, they are the best at or they own. Like every tech bro guy thinks that they are the master at social media because they know how the algorithms work. And it's like making it insufferable to be online because every other fucking video is like trying to market you a class, or it's like a tech bro talking about the algorithm. And like, I just miss when the internet was a place to create and to share stuff. I'm so annoyed with like the tech broification of it all. And when I see a video about that, I get like a strong ick and I get so annoyed. Another ick is I don't like people that are condescending. If people are condescending to me, I get an extreme grudge, and I actually hold that grudge forever. Like there was this girl one time I had a new job, and she told me, "Don't chew gum," and we were on the same level, like employee wise, and I was like, "You're literally a cop now. Like I don't trust you, and I'm gonna be mad at you forever. Why are you telling me that?" If it was coming from my manager, that's different. But if I wouldn't say that to someone, and someone says that to me, I'm like, why are you trying to start this power dynamic shit? Like, we're all human beings. No one has more power over each other. It's an illusion. So stop. It just makes me so mad. I think that's all that I can do tonight. I'm gonna rock out, and I think that I answered every single one. So I will probably do another one one of these days, one of these months on my Instagram, because I don't know how else people even get questions. Like, but thank you for all the really, really nice comments and all the really nice stuff. This is coming out before my oddity review, but I will be posting my oddity review literally right like in a couple days. So it's going to be the next one. And then I'm going to do my next part of my philosophy iceberg. And yeah, I'll see you later. And I'm sorry if I got mad. I'm just in like I'm sorry if I'm intense. Just cleaning the diabolical boba nutsack juice off the bottom of my purse was too much. Peace.